You know what frosts my cookies? What grinds my gears? When y'all be outside saying it is what it is. Every time I hear it, it sets my teeth on edge. We're going to talk about why and what I would prefer and what would also help you right after the intro. And welcome back to another episode of The Daily Donna with me, your host, Dr. Donna Oriowo, sex and relationship therapist in Washington, D.C. metro area, author of Drink Water and Mind Your Business, A Black Woman's Guide to Unlearning the BS and Healing Self-Esteem. Let me tell you, every time I hear somebody say it is what I hear you actually saying is it is what it will always be. That is what I hear you saying. And as a matter of fact, if you think about it, that's kind of what you're saying. You're not talking about it is what it is in the present moment. Some of y'all are acting like it is what it will be in the future moment. That if this thing is the thing, like say Emma Greed, is that her name? Saying that only the people who are in the office, in the physical office, will be able to really make advancements in the workplace. And I'm looking like, yes, okay, that could be true. It also is not really true, especially not if you're a Black woman, given how many Black women have been fired from their places of work. But I digress. When we tell people what the advice is for the here and now, that's good and great. But where is also the conversation about what change we need to enact to make sure that it is now, but will not be tomorrow? When we come to it is what it is, there is already a self-defeatist attitude within it. And when I hear a client say it, I almost always will question them, right? What does that mean? When you say it like that, what does it mean? What time are we talking about? Are we framed in right now in this moment? Are we framed in back then in that moment? Or are we also framed in a future moment? Questioning people on that, most people end up sitting in the, oh, I am kind of saying like, well, that is what it is. It's always been that way, except chances are, no, it hasn't. As a matter of fact, not even chances are, no, it hasn't. It's like the patriarchy. Some people will talk about the patriarchy and say it is what it is, except it always has not been this. And I would even go as far as to say that because of the conversations that people have been having about what they don't like, about calling the harm out as it happens, about calling it out also later on, reflecting upon things. People who watch and listen to old songs and music and commentate on those things, it says that it cannot continue to be this, that we are dissatisfied with this. One of the best examples that I feel are out there is America's Next Top Model, right? I remember watching that show when I was in middle school, high school, young, whatever. That's the point. Watching it those first times, and I was thinking, oh, I want to be a model. Oh, okay, this is what it takes to be a model. This is what I'm gonna have to do. I wonder how I can make myself taller because I was 5'7" and I wasn't, I'm 5'7". That's it. That's all I got. But while it may have been the Wild West of TV at that time, that show got a resurgence because of COVID. During COVID, a bunch of people watched it back and they was just like, whoa, that's not okay. Right? And there is, I think, too many people who are willing to say, well, it that's what it was back then, while not wanting to recognize that the back then is still in the here and now. Because we often are using what happened before to try and build the future. We're trying to set precedents, and people will refer to something, especially something that has gone uncritiqued, as something that should be the way that it is, when that couldn't be furthest from the truth. It is in that critique. It is in looking back that we are basically practicing a Sankofa moment. We're saying we got to go back to go forward, that we want to see something change. Kind of like this video that I once did about Ari Lennox and how she talked about Martin, and that Martin was a show that was colorist, because it was. There was plenty of colorism in that show. Just in the same way that a lot of us looked back at ANTM and we decided as a collective that what we saw was not okay and that there needs to be a change. And so there has been. Now, that is not to say that Tyra Banks and America's Next Top Model did not already change the industry, because in some ways they did. It also doesn't mean that they did not exploit people in the changes that they were able to make to continue to denigrate and harm people in order for people to make a buck and to have a popular TV show. People are continually being manipulated and taken advantage of so that somebody else gets rich. To me, it is, when people say it is what it is, I think of, I don't know if y'all seen that movie, Michael Jordan. It's based off like Michael Jordan and him getting his deal and all that jazz.
Michael will get a percentage of the revenue of the sale of each shoe that is sold.
I'm sorry?
Not all Nike shoes, just the ones with his name on them.
Oh, Mrs. Jordan, so that's not how the business works at all. I mean, I understand the assumption, but what the athlete...
Particularly his Nike deal. And that his mom was just like, and Michael will get a portion of every shoe sold. Every Michael Jordan shoe sold, because it is my son's name, my son's face, my son's likeness. That is the thing that is selling this thing. And he basically said, "Oh, well, that's not how things go. It is what it is. We give you a one-time payout, and then that's that." And just like, no, you won't be doing that with me. We say that things are always the way that they have been done until something changes. But when we continually say it is what it is, we close ourselves off to the possibility of what we can create in the future. And I understand change is hard. Change is scary. But Octavia Butler said change is God. That things are always changing. Moods are changing. Times are changing. The time of day is changing. Things are constantly, ceaselessly changing. And as long as we're saying it is what it is, what we're really saying, it is what it was and will always be. And we need to go ahead and just let that hop up out of the lexicon. It's okay to name what is in a moment. But when we're saying it is what it is, I want you to be careful that you're not also calling this thing that you hate, this thing that you detest, this thing that harms you into your future. Instead, I want you to do as Tricia Hersey said and rest. And then do as Octavia Butler asked you to and dream. Imagine what future it is that you actually want to see and consider what it is that you need to do to bring that thing into fruition. Now, I didn't say that change was easy, because I recognize that while you may desire the thing, right? While this conversation, even right now, can move you from being in pre-contemplation to contemplation. Pre-contemplation being that I wasn't thinking about this thing at all. I didn't even recognize that there was a problem, to contemplation. Now I recognize that there is a problem, but I don't have any choice, or I'm not ready to do anything about it. I recognize that knowing better does not equal doing better, despite what the late and great Maya Angelou said. Knowing better gives you an opportunity to do better. It gives you an opportunity to contemplate, to consider, to prepare, and move into action. So, I am asking you, what would it take for you to move into action? What do you need to prepare so that you can stop calling the past as it has been into your future? There is a great line in, and I've talked about this, there's a great line in Sunrise on the Reaping where Haymitch's girl, and I guess spoiler alert, Haymitch's girlfriend is trying to beat in his head that what has been in the past can only predict the future in so much as people are unwilling to change. Because he's saying that every year on his birthday, there will be a reaping. She's saying that there will come a day where there will not be. And he is insistent that as there was this morning, as there was last year, as there was the year before that, there will always be a reaping on my birthday. And she is trying to get him to understand that just because it happened in the past does not mean that it is a prediction of your future. That thing that happened yesterday doesn't mean nothing and doesn't know anything about tomorrow. And as long as you are certain that the foolishness you dealt with yesterday will be the foolishness you deal with tomorrow, you will not change what you think you know so that you can give yourself just a little bit more room to imagine new possibilities and behave in new ways. If all you think is that tomorrow looks like today and yesterday, you miss out on the magic of the creation that you get to enact by just simply changing your behaviors. So I'm hoping that we can leave it is what it is in the past and embrace something that gives us a little bit more hope and a little bit more space for change in our future. Because when we don't like what we're seeing today, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing while expecting different results. So let's do something different so that we can have different results. I know that I will be taking a sabbatical. I talked about taking a break. I talked about taking a sabbatical, and I contemplated it. I recognized that there was a problem. Once I got there, I was just like, okay, cool. Well, I am fully in preparation for the sabbatical, and soon it will be in action. And I look forward to that because I know I need it. So the preparation continues. So tell me, what is something that you have been, it is what it isn't? And what can you do so that you can stop calling that thing into your future? What do you actually want to see? What's the change? All right. You are the Bee's Knees. I'm Dr. Donna. This has been the Daily Donna, and I will see you tomorrow, because we have our conversations with the therapeutic edge, but we do it every day. All right. Bye.